Hey guys, Josh here, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing the sort of ranking of the starter Pokemon of every generation that Callum started. It's sort of like a tag video. I decided I might as well do this video. Thought it would be fun because I've never actually gone through and ranked every generation starter. I've kind of always had the idea in the back of my mind that I just like grass type starters, but actually going through and deciding on everything on this, I found out that may not be exactly the case. It may still be in the majority, but maybe a little bit different. And also I get to choose, besides just picking my favorite out of every gen, you get to rank all three of them. So that's also the other interesting part of this. So big shout out to HoodlumCallum for coming up with this idea. I wasn't tagged or anything like that, but I just thought it would be fun to do. And it's a tag video, but it doesn't really matter if you get tagged. So any of you out there that are watching and want to make a video like this, go for it. Why not? So before I do get started, I do want to thank you guys for the support on my first upload. I really do appreciate it. Also, if you guys haven't already checked out, I actually had another video go up, but not on this channel. It went up over on Arizo's channel, since right now he's dealing with some personal stuff. He asked me if I could do a video on his channel, and I went ahead and did that. So there's a video over there called the top 5 biggest rumors for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'll have what are they called? Like little cards up in the corner or whatever. I'll have one of those, so hopefully you can check it out through that, or there's a link in the description. Either one, whatever way I can do it. It's gonna be interesting trying to do this with as little cuts as possible, because I'm so used to now doing the sort of do a sentence for my videos. That's how all the audio works. In the previous video you guys saw, is literally pretty much every 2 or 3 sentences is just cut next type of thing. So it's gonna be weird trying to just free flow this. I haven't done an LP type of thing, commentary style, where it's just free flow, no cuts or anything, in a long time. So it's gonna take me a little bit to get used to it. But if you guys do end up enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button. And if you're new here and you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get videos up on the weekends, every week. This one's starting out early in the week because I didn't get anything up on the weekend before because I was working on the video for Arizo. But hopefully I can get something up this weekend. Otherwise, I'll have some other type of video coming out on another game that I'm very interested in at the moment. I don't want to spoil it or anything, but we'll see on that. So make sure also to follow me on Twitter. That's where I'll keep you guys up to date on when videos are coming out, if videos aren't coming out, and all that sort of stuff. And also if videos come out on other people's channels. So yeah, that's my best way of keeping you guys informed of what's going on. So make sure to also follow over there if you do have Twitter. So let's get into this. Let's start off, actually, I think a lot of people start off with Gen 1, but I want to work my way backwards. So we're going to be, just a little hipster here, and we're going to start with Gen 8. Because that's the new generation, that's what everyone cares about, right? Everyone cares about Gen 8 right now. So if you guys watched my possible starters, you probably already know the idea of what my first, second, and third are, because I basically said it in that video. But my opinion has changed a little bit, just a smidge, just a tiny little smidge. So obviously first place, we'll actually, let's work our way. No, we'll start from first with Gen 8. The rest I'll start from third and go up to first. But Gen 8, you guys already know what my first is. It's gonna be Grookey. I just love this fucking monkey, a grass monkey. I know we got Pansage, whatever, but this looks so much better than Pansage. And plus Pansage, Panpour, I don't really care for the whole elemental monkey thing, but having our own little specific little grass monkey as a starter, I just can't wait to see what this thing actually ends up evolving into. I hope, I pray that it's something good and it doesn't look like shit. That would hurt my soul that they would ruin this thing's design, but we'll have to see. And then in second place, now I'm gonna admit, second and third place, it's really tied. Sobble and Scorbunny, it's a hard choice. It really is. It's a hard choice, mostly considering I don't know what its final evolutions look like. And that is going to factor into all these. I should have stated that before. I am going to be factoring all aspects of these starters, from just my nostalgia with them to their whole evolution line to how they play in battles. All that sort of stuff is going to be factored in whatever way possible. At the end of the day, it's just my opinion. So obviously I'm not saying, oh, Grookey is the best starter because blah, blah, blah. No, it's obviously not the best starter, but So second place, I actually put Sobble. The only main reason that I'm putting it in second place now and saying that it's my second favorite is because I really think that its final evolution could be something I really like. And it has a possibility. It's hard for me to say this because I really don't want it to be the case, but it has the possibility of going to first if its final evolution is just God tier. I just feel like there's a lot of possibilities with its final evolution, so I could just see me really liking this Pokemon depending on which direction it ends up going. So I have to put it in second. And then finally there's Scorbunny. I don't really have a problem with Scorbunny. I don't hate its design by any means. It's just not something that really like speaks to me. And also I just, final evolution wise, again, really worried about it being firefighting. That would suck. But if it's not that and it ends up being something cool, I think I'll still end up liking it, but I just can't see myself liking it as much as Soble's final evolution or Croaky's. So that's why it is. So let's move on to Generation 7. And I said I'll start from third place. So third place in Gen 7 is Puplio. I just never cared for Puplio since it was announced. I mean, it's sort of like this circus, like seal Pokemon, and it just never like caught my attention at all. Its evolution line is cool. I think, how do you pronounce it? Primarina is a really cool final evolution, mostly being that water fairy typing is really cool, but it just isn't something that crazy piques my attention or anything. And second, we have Litten. I love cats, just plain out and simple, love cats. And then we get a fucking black and red cat. I love like Pokemon designs that incorporate black into them. I don't know, like when it has black and then some other vibrant color, I think like the black is always like accentuating. That's not even how you pronounce that word, I'm pretty sure, but it just makes that color pop. And I feel like that, like mostly with its also yellow eyes mixed in there, I just think its design looks really cool. Incineroar is pretty neat. Definitely would have loved it to stay on all four legs and not have kind of ends up it's literally a wrestling Pokemon. So, but it ends up being Fire Dark, so at least it's not firefighting, but I feel like they could have did something different with it. But there was also Solgaleo, so they already had sort of a lion that was on all fours, so I guess I see why they went to 2 legs, but I don't know. I would have liked it to stay on 4. And then, of course, first place, another grass starter. You guys are starting to see a pattern, but don't worry, it may change up. Just wait on it. But yes, first place has to be Rowlet. I love Decidueye. Decidueye's design, oh, it's like perfect for me. I love when I'm playing like RPG games where you get to choose your role in them. I love playing like the sneaky like archerer. I don't know, like when I played through Skyrim, that's like I've played through Skyrim at least like 4 or 5 times at this point, and I think 3 at least times that I've played through, I've had to choose to go like the sneaky route, and then I would just change up something a little bit so it's not exactly the same, but I don't know, I just love that sort of character, and that's what Rowlet ends up turning into. And just from its base form, it's just really cute, and it like all the memes around Rowlet just make you love it even more, and it's just a little bow tie and everything. I just think it's really cute, and it's a better owl Pokemon too than like Hoot and Noctowl, which kind of sucked, to be honest. So yeah, and then we got a Gen 6 Zoo. Now third place may surprise you guys. We're about to trip things up, we're about to mix things up here. Third place we have Chespin. I almost said Chestnut, Jesus Christ. But we got Chespin. You can see how much I don't care about this Pokemon by me not even being able to remember its first stage name. But yes, we have Chespin in third, a grass starter in third. My least favorite in Gen 6 is Chespin. I just don't really care for Chestnut that much. In like Quilladin most of all, I just don't care for it, and I think Spectre will end up hating me for that, so hopefully he never sees this video. But I just don't have any care for Chespin. It just never really piqued my interest, mostly in comparison to the other starters in Gen 6, so that's why it ends up being in third. Also, it was never fun for me to play. I'm pretty sure in my first playthrough of Pokemon X, I used Chespin. I hope I'm remembering that correctly. And it's just, his moveset's just not that fun to use. And he's just, I like speedier starter Pokemon, I think, when I'm using them most of the time. And he just ended up not being that really. So coming in second, we have little old, wow. this is actually sad. I'm like forgetting Gen 6's starter names. Like I know what number 1 is, like that's like the obvious one, but what are you? I forget. I remember Delphox is your final evolution. Finnegan. God, my brain. I swear Gen 6 is the gen that I have the most trouble remembering what the starters were from. And I don't even like hate the starters in this gen by any means. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's the names. They're just not that like clicky in my head for me. But yes, in second place we have Finnegan. I just like the whole mage concept of its evolution when it goes to Delphox. I actually liked this the least at the start, but I think I just enjoyed it more after using it a little bit more and noticing how much I didn't like how Chestnut played in the games. So yeah, that's kind of the main reason that this ends up getting in second. But overall, number 1 has to be Froakie. Again, love that sort of stealthy, sort of edgy a little bit, Greninja's design. I don't know. I really like Froakie a lot. Even though, yeah, he might be the most popular, I don't really care. I'm joining that crowd and I'm going with the most popular one. So Froakie, Greninja, just god tier overall Pokemon. So has to be number 1. So let's move on to Generation 5. Another generation that I seem to forget a little bit, the starters. Like Gen 4 and back, like I got those starters like boom, boom, boom. But I don't know, Gen 5 through 7, obviously I know Gen 8 right now, but we'll see as time goes on if I start forgetting them. But Gen 5 through 7, I kind of have problems like, oh, what was the starters in that gen? But in our number 3 spot, we have Tepig. I mean, it's cute, I'll give it that. It's a cute little pig Pokemon. I just don't care for Emboar at all. It doesn't really stand out to me. And being the goddamn, what is it? It's the 4th firefighting type we got. No thank you. No thank you. I don't need you. I don't need a fat pig that can fight. No thanks. So yeah, Tepig has to come in 3rd. And then in 2nd, we have Snivy. The reason why I put Snivy in 2nd here is because I feel like, and I know I'll probably catch a lot of shit for this in the comments, I don't know, I just like Trico more, like, and I say they're pretty similar in design, but you can obviously debate me on that. I just feel like they're a little bit similar, so it's just kind of like, I mean, the one's a gecko, one's supposed to be a snake, so I can't really say they're the exact same, but just like their body shape and stuff like that just reminds me too much of each other. And Snivy was just never fun to use like in the game, like playing through. His moveset was just kind of dog shit in my opinion. I just didn't have fun, and he only got good because of Contrary in the end, which was his hidden ability. So yeah, just not a fun Pokemon when I was playing through the games with. And then 1st place is surprisingly Oshawott. For the longest I actually hated this one. It was probably 3rd. But I really like Samurot's design as I thought about it more when creating, deciding on all this beforehand. Like, I just really do like Samurot's design. It being like the samurai, like, what is it? I don't know if it's considered a sill or what type of animal it would be considered. But I don't know. I just really end up liking its design. I think Oshawott is really fucking cute with its little seashell and stuff. I remember like little bits and pieces from seeing the anime with it, and I don't know, it just makes me think it's really, really cute. So I think it just gets the really cute card, and that just pushes it up to number 1. Plus then Samurot's just like really, I don't even think Samurot's that great of a Pokemon, like when it comes to like battling and stuff, but like I remember having the most fun playing through Generation 5 games when I decided to use Samurott as my starter. So yeah. Now let's go on to the god tier gen, which is Generation 4. Generation 3 and Generation 4 are my favorite generations of Pokemon games when it comes to Pokemon and their designs. I just really like these generations. They are my favorite. So starting off in our number 3rd spot, we have Piplup. I really like this thing. It's really cute. Don's Piplup in the anime, very cute, very enjoyable, but just doesn't compare to the other two. Empoleon's pretty cool as well. I've used all 3 of these starters and enjoyed playing through with all of them, but I think I had the least fun or harder time maybe, just because of how like defensive oriented, Empoleon ends up being. But I still do like this Pokemon a lot, so don't say I'm hating Piplup or anything like that. I'm not. And number 2, we obviously have Chimchar. I really like Chimchar. Out of all the fire fighting types, it's a really close fight between Blaziken and, well, actually I just realized, I said there was 4 firefighting types. There's 3. I don't know. My brain just doesn't work sometimes. I hope I corrected that in the editing. But, whatchamacallit? I don't know. I really like Chimchar and Infernape. Infernape just looks really fucking cool. It would be really sick when it gets its Mega Evolution. I think there's a lot of cool fan art for Mega Evolutions that look really cool. So I would be really interested in seeing a Mega Evolution for, not Chimchar obviously, but Infernape. And I think I would consider this my favorite firefighting type. I would consider it right above Blaziken. So, but it does come in second to, of course, Turtwig. I love this thing. Torterra is a fucking god. Like, anytime I've played through the games, even though it's more of a defensive mon, God, it packs a punch. I don't know, maybe it's just me and how I played through the games, but God, Torterra just would carry the fuck out of my team. Earthquake, and then I don't know what type of grass move I would be using. I don't remember, but like, god damn, just earthquaking everything really at that point. Like, but also it's just design's really cute. It's a nice little grass turtle, like with its little twig head. And I think that's one of the reasons I end up liking Grookey, is because it kind of took the little like twin like leaves on the top of its head. I think that's just really cute looking on grass types. I don't know, but yeah. So Turtwig has to come in our number 1 spot. I don't know what I was about to say, number 3, and I'm like, no, I'm talking about number 1. So that's actually 3 grass starters so far in our first place spot and 2 water types. We'll see how it keeps going. Let's go on to Generation 3. And I would say Generation 3 has my favorite Pokemon of all time in it. Like, most of my favorite Pokemon are in Generation 3. So it honestly was really hard to choose between the starters because I like all of them. And all of them are actually pretty fun to play with. It's actually going to be interesting me talking about my first place spot. But let's start off in 3rd. We have Torchic. Honestly, I played through the games the most with Torchic, to be straight up. I really do like Torchic. I think it's really fucking cute. Blaziken's really strong. Kabuskin's really strong. It's really hard for me to rank these guys, but design-wise, Blaziken just doesn't, like, it's not crazy up there in comparison to everyone else's. So, number 2, we have Mudkip. Again, super fun to play through the game with. Water ground typing. When you get Mudshot and you start fucking dominating everything towards Mauville City, it's just amazing. But it's gonna come in number 2 to obviously Trico. Sceptile, I love Sceptile, and then when it got its Mega Evolution, became a Grass Dragon type that we've always kind of thought in the back of our head maybe it could be. At least I did. I don't know if everyone did. I shouldn't speak for everyone, but I don't know. I really love Trico and its whole evolution line. I think the whole evolution line's like has that sly, stealthy type of feel to it. But I will admit, the least fun to play through Hoenn is with Trico. Its moveset just isn't the greatest. I think it is better in Orez, definitely, but in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, I just had the least fun like coming up with a moveset for it. But once it gets that Grass Dragon typing, then you can have some fun with its moveset. But I just really like its design, and that's what ends up pushing it to the top of my list. So next we have Generation 2, which is actually my least favorite generation of Pokemon. I just don't care for a lot of the Pokemon in it. It's a close tie between Generation 2 and Generation 6 are the Pokemon where the generations that have my least favorite Pokemon designs in them, actually. So coming in our number 3 spot is actually the Grass Starter Trico. Yeah, I'm putting that at number 3. Chikorita. It's another one of those Pokemon that it wasn't fun to play through the game with Chikorita, just not enough diversity in its moveset, and just overall it's bulky, just plain grass type. I just didn't have much fun playing through the game. Its design is kind of underwhelming to me. It's not really interesting. It's just this weird grass bipedal dinosaur looking thing. Just never really piqued my interest, so that's why it comes in number 3. And then 1 and 2, this is actually really hard. The only reason that I'm putting number 1 in number 1 is because of nostalgia. And it's literally one nostalgia versus the other. So our number 2 spot is Totodile. I love Totodile. Feraligatr is sick. Even though like it doesn't like stand out like crazy in comparison to the other ones like Froakie, Samurott, and Swampert. Even I like those designs more. I just think a water like Crocodile or Alligator, whichever one it's supposed to be, is really cool. And also the one thing that makes me really like Totodile is from the anime. I just think it was always really cute in the anime. So that's what ends up putting it into the number 2 spot. And then number 1 is Cyndaquil. And again, nostalgia. I loved it in the anime, but then also it was my first starter in these generations. I remember when I was younger, I ended up, I think my first, when I played through Generation 1 and Generation 2, my parents ended up getting me used copies of the game. And so when I got Generation 2, I don't remember how many badges I had in the game, but I had 2 Typhlosions in it. So, and like they were just amazing. I think the game was complete, actually. I just don't think they ever faced red in them. But yeah, I had 2 Typhlosions for some reason. That's what that person before me decided to do. And I didn't know how to I didn't like to restart the games. I just played where they were at because I wasn't good at Pokemon. I didn't know how to play for the life of me. Besides oh, let's walk around and destroy things if I have actual good Pokemon. But if I don't have good Pokemon, then I'm just gonna lose. So, but yeah, I had 2 Typhlosions, and I think that's just kind of nostalgia for me that makes me really end up liking Cyndaquil. And also, it has a cute face. Typhlosion's pretty cool. The design though is kind of bland. I'll admit that. I think probably I like Feraligatr's design more, but nostalgia wise, it just makes it go into the number 1 for me. And then finally, we have Generation 1, the OG original generation. And in our number 3 spot, we got little old Squirtle. I just never cared for Squirtle. I'm just gonna be blunt. I just don't really care for Squirtle. It was cute in the anime, I'll give you that. Like the little Squirtle squad with Squirtle and his little shades and stuff like that. It was cute, but just never really stood out to me. Like design wise, Blastoise is kind of boring. Like it's just a big ass fucking turtle with like cannons. Like, I don't know. It just never really stood out to me. When I played through the game with it, it wasn't bad or anything by any means, but just it was kind of like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna hydro pump things. That's okay. So Squirtle, just not really a Pokemon or starter I care for. Number 2, we actually have Bulbasaur. Surprise, surprise. I didn't put this in my number 1 spot. I think the main reason that I end up not doing this is because I felt like I think in later generations it fixed this, but back in Gen 1, I did not have a fun time playing through the games with Bulbasaur. It just felt like the moveset was very undiverse. Now it's gotten a lot better because it gets those like poison type moves that like are actually good and useful, because I think was Sludge the only, I don't even know if it got Sludge in Generation 1. I'm pretty sure it didn't. I don't even know if it got any good poison type moves, if I can remember. Maybe I was just bad at the game at the time, but that's, I mean, it's gonna affect my opinion on it. So it ends up being in second place to number 1, Charmander, my favorite out of Generation 1. Charizard's just a god, like, let's be honest. I mean, you can't consider it not a god when it's literally the second Pokemon to Mewtwo that has 2 megas for it. Like, come on. What other starter here has 2 megas to it, 2 different forms that make it 2 different types, one that keeps its fire flying, and then one becomes a fire dragon like people always expected Charizard to be a fire dragon. So, I don't know. I really like this, like Charizard a lot. I know it's super popular to like Charizard, but I don't know. I just have the most fun playing through the games with Charizard, just flamethrowing everything and then being able to mix things up and be able to actually fly with Charizard is very useful in the early games when you need to use HMs to get around and stuff. So, I don't know. I just always had a lot of fun with Charizard. So, that's why it comes in my number 1. And that is everything. That is all the starters ranked 1st to 3rd, and that's my list. So what do we got? We got 4 grass starters in number 1. We have 2 water types and then 2 fire types. I mean, that's pretty fair, I think. I think it's pretty balanced. Like, obviously, like I said before, I do like grass starters the most, and as you can see, but I do give some love to both the water and fire types, and who knows, like, things could change up in Generation 8. Sobble could take number 1, depending on its final evolution and stuff, so we'll just have to wait and see on that. So that's gonna be it for this video. I really do hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys would like to see me do other videos sort of similar to this idea, but maybe more like scripted out and like thought out, because this is kind of really free flowing and not really like I thought about these ideas for like a long period of time. There's not really that much to think about when it comes to ranking starters, you know, but I would love to try and do some other ranking things of maybe like ranking like what I would consider the best Pokemon games and stuff like that. So if that would be something you guys would be interested in, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think of how I've ranked these starters and what you would change, or what is your favorite starters, like your first place starters for every generation. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm always curious what like other people's opinions are and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, even though it's not one of my regular sort of type of videos that I'm looking to be creating. I'm going to be trying to get one up this weekend. It may end up having to get pushed back just due to it is like a bigger video idea, so it may take me more time to create. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. And if any new Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield information does come out, I'll make sure to cover that as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new here, and yeah, stay tuned for more. Bye.